everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat, back with another Use Up My Magazine Kit challenge, and it is the final of the KCC 19 ones. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm trying to use up, I'm trying to film every project I make using this Crafter's Companion magazine kit. There's a whole series about it. Please do check out the playlist. I don't know what number video I'm up to, but quite a few, might even be 20. Somewhere close to 20, I'm going to say. For quite a few of them, though, I did make up a Kendra's Card Challenge kit. Following the cutting guides and then the sketches. And what I did was I did a whole video on cutting it up, organising it, putting it with the card pieces, etc. And then I popped them all into envelopes, and then I grabbed the envelopes when I fancy playing with them. And this is actually my final one of those. I filmed it just after the last one that's gone up on this playlist, although I know that there's going to be a gap between the two videos coming out, so I can't remember how long, but I know that in my head, on my planner, it's in a couple of days, after the last one that will have gone up. But I actually filmed it the day after. So I made up the card pretty much how the sketch says, but I did trim some off on the sides in particular, just because I wanted this to fit on a standard UK sized card, an A6 card. But actually the templates, etc., are all made for American card sizes, so it's just slightly different dimensions, slightly different proportions. So I did trim some off the edge. I then ran it through the embossing folder with the pieces stuck in place, using an embossing folder that's not in the kit. So this is where I have started to add to the kit. I used I think it's called Timeless Type or Time Worn Type or something along those lines. Anyway, it's an old Stampin' Up embossing folder, and it's got kind of like a rusticy, vintagey kind of look. It's a bit distressed, etc. I just wanted that to just sort of bring it all together a little bit, and then I went over with my ink just to highlight some of that texture and to darken the edges. Then for my focal feature, I have chosen the hummingbird from the set. I've not used the hummingbird for a little while, and I really fancied doing that instead. So I've gone with the colours of the papers as my colouring of my hummingbird. This is not me having looked up what hummingbirds look like, because I don't really know, and I just wanted one that worked with my particular colours of my papers. So that's the reason we've got a pink, purple and green hummingbird. Maybe there is a hummingbird that looks like this out there, in which case, well done to me for knowing that. Obviously I didn't. And then I'm just going to fussy cut it out. Now, I am going to raise this up just on a couple of pieces of the scrap cardstock that are the leftover scraps from me cutting it out, because I want it to be raised up, but I'll do that in a little bit. First of all, I'm going to choose my sentiment, and I've just gone for the simple one that's the Happy Birthday to You, which is in the stamp set, which comes with the magazine. And I've stamped it in that same pink coloured ink. I think it's Strawberry Slush. I'm just going to use what's left on my brush to just darken it a little bit and blend it over the colour, because I think that the basic white would have looked a bit weird. And this is where I'm just cutting little scraps of the cardstock to be able to stack up my little bird a little bit. I just wanted it to be just slightly raised above that texture. It's not drastically raised. I could have used my adhesive foam if I wanted it to be more dimensional, but just that little bit just helps to both strengthen the actual piece itself, but also just gives it that little bit of dimension. I stuck something heavy on it to dry, and now I'm making my card base, and I decided to make one out of the same coloured pink card that I'd started with, which is the Kingston Crafts pastel cardstock. And then I'm just basically keeping it really simple and adding that on as a topper on the top. And because I'd inked up the panel, it has got the differentiation between the front and the back part of the card. And because it's a pink card, I am putting a white thing on the inside just so I've got somewhere to write. Now the sketch you can see there has got those sort of black dots, top right and top left. I went with card candy for my embellishments for this, and I chose the pale pink ones that I had got in the stash, and then tried to keep them sort of relatively similar positions, both top and bottom, so that they worked, so that there was some symmetry, if that makes sense, because it's clearly a card that's got some symmetry with the way that the strips are laid out. So dead simple. Final one of these KCC ones. Really going to put my thinking cap on now on what to do with the rest of the pieces from this magazine kit. But I hope you've enjoyed that. Please do give me a thumbs up if you did. Please go check out Kendra's card challenges as well. Please do go and see what she gets up to with those, because they're amazing. And subscribe to see future videos from me. But for now, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.